Hi guys, you're welcome back once more. So guys, this particular video is a sewing tutorial of the notch collar shirt that I already drafted the tutorial in my previous video. Remember I told you that the sewing part is the more interesting part of making a notch collar or a lapel collar. So this one is a very simple way on how to go about this sewing in case you'll be finding it difficult. So please don't forget to stick with me to the end of the video. And equally, if it's your first time in my channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button to support me. Please, I really want to grow. Support me, hit the subscribe button so that you always get updates from me. You always see nice updates. And equally, check out the description box so that you can see other tutorials and equally the video on how to go about the drafting of this lapel jacket. Let's get started, guys. So guys, this is the button allowance. That is what I'm just trying to chalk out like this to just mark it out. So guys, if you have watched the previous video on how I did the drafting, you will see that this is the shirt. That is the one I drafted on freehand. That is direct drafting. So that is what I'm using for this sewing part. So I'm going to, along the line, I'll be explaining better, so just pay attention and you understand everything you need. But meanwhile, you are going to see exactly how to go about this sewing in a very easy way. In case you already know how to cut your collar, you know how to cut your shirt and everything, but the sewing is not a problem. So guys, I'm cutting out facing for this. You can see that I placed my fabric up to the middle of my shoulder. So from that point, I'm cutting out the facing for the front. That is for the front shirt. Do not forget that on this my shirt, it has a little fit, like I told you. I don't want it to just come out straight, like straight. So if you look at it very well, you notice it has a little shape. So that's why you need to watch the video on how I did the drafting. You are definitely going to enjoy it. So I'm opening this place, slashing it open, and I've just done that. And what I'm doing next is I'm shaping this facing. I don't want to go on using this whole width as the shaping, as the facing, so I'm going to reduce it. So I'm just moving it by 3 inch, 3.5, and I'm later going to use my hand and connect it to have a nice curve, or you can use your curve and connect it. So in case you don't understand what I'm saying, you can just go ahead and look at what I'm doing. So this is it. I've done that already. I've cut it out and placing it on the fabric to just see how it matches well. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is on the facing, I'm going to fold in the side that is cut just to sew it to have a neat finishing. So this one, you need to do it before you even go ahead to start joining the facing. So guys, after that, so I've gone ahead to place the back of my shirt and I'm placing the front. You already know how to just go ahead, place this front facing front, back facing back. So I'm going to be sewing just the shoulder, taking it by ½ inch. I've just done that already, as you can see. So I've also turned my facing. So I'm going to go ahead and attach my facing to the zip part. I'm going to do that by ½ inch. So I'm just going to sew it straight forward. As you can see, I've already done the hemming of the downside, but do well to attach your facing first before you hem it. Okay, that is the down part of the cloth. So I've done doing that, and as you can see, it is nice. I've not top stitched the facing yet. I've not done a top stitch on this. I just sewed it straight together first of all. So I've not done a proper top stitch on it yet. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the circumference of my neck. So guys, on this particular point, I was doing this part to in order for me to cut the collar. Okay, if you see the notch already, I've already notched it, the part where the collar is going to be sitting, where it's going to start and where it's going to finish. But after I finished doing this, I now realized that I'm out of fabric. Actually, I felt really bad about it. I felt bad. I got pissed, yes, because the fabric looked so much, it was like it was going to be okay, only for it to end up disappointing me. So I had to look for alternative, which is going for the pattern collar, so which happened to be more smaller. Okay, so That is just follow exactly the way I folded this and fold yours too. And then I'll place my pattern collar on it, and I'm just going to attach 1/2 inch on every side except for the unfold part, which you see the way I'm placing it, the part of the unfold, or the center front. That is the point where the arrow is pointing. Okay, so I'm just going to pin it and then cut it. After cutting it, guys, this is how it came out. So I've also gone ahead to iron down the paper stay to it. So I iron the paper stay to this, and then back to my shirt. This is it. I've already top stitched my shirt, but mind you, I top stitched the facing. I've top stitched the facing part, but mind you, I didn't top stitch it up to the end, that is up to the neck. Okay, I left that side, I left like 2 inch above. So that one I'm going to finish the top stitching when I'm done joining the collar. So this is the collar. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on top like this. Do not forget that our target is to be able to attach this collar in a very easy and a very quick way, a very friendly way for everyone. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sew on this curve line that is a bit curved, 1/2 inch, and I'm also going to sew 1/2 inch upward by the side. I'm going to stop just 1/2 inch above. I'm going to be leaving 1/2 inch. I'm not going to stitch it all through, in other words. Okay, so you leave 1/2 inch like that. It is necessary for the joining, so stitch upward, tight it. So after that, I've gone ahead to do that and ironed it. This is how it looks. I believe you now understand what I'm saying. So the next thing I'll do is to attach it to the, first of all, I get my, after I will join my neck together and get the midway. Okay, I believe you understand exactly how I place it. Just place your neck, make sure that it's placed properly, that you can get the midpoint of your back neck. So because that, then you also place the collar and equally get the midpoint of the collar. The midpoint is the middle, so notch it. So you do the same on the back neck. It will go a long way to help you. If you observe very well in this one, you notice I don't even have to go through measuring my neck anymore. So I'm still going to release another video on how to draft the collar on freehand and all that, to do everything freehand and direct drafting. Okay, so in case this one is still a bit confusing to you, so you can see what I did here. I placed my shirt on front. This is my shirt. If you looked at it, in case you don't understand, you can backward it, guys. If you notice it very well, you notice that the shirt is on front. That is the front side of the shirt. That is the front side of my fabric. So I'm pinning one side of my collar to it. I'm pinning one side. I'm going to pin it. Just pay close attention. You will see exactly how I'm going about the pinning. So this is it again. Now I'm going to fold this part, the facing part. The reason why I said you should not top stitch it yet until you finish. You see, the reason why you have to leave some parts, not top stitch everything until you finish joining the, normally if I'd use the freehand to cut this, on this part where I notched on the facing, that notch you are seeing there, that is where I'm going to be stopping my collar. But now I have to make do of the little I have to be able to achieve this, because this fabric is nowhere to be found in the market. So guys, just pay attention to how I'm pinning this. Remember, I'm still pinning one side, and remember, you place your shirt. Just follow exactly how you saw me placing and arranging the shirt. That is how you do yours. So I'm going to use the collar, the facing, to cover this one side like this. You are going to pin this all the way down to wherever the collar stops. Okay, normally if I drafted it on freehand, it would have stopped on that point I notched, because I'm going to make sure I work with exactly the measurement I have from the point of the notch to draft my collar. Okay, so I'm pinning it again. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. You can see how this is looking. I will sew all the way down like this. So I'm not going to stop actually, because I'm going to pin the other side too. So I'm going to be sewing straight. So I'm just going to pin this other side so that you see how it will look. So guys, if you know you're enjoying this tutorial, because I myself I enjoyed making this, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notification bell to always get updates and please check out my other videos, guys, so you can see how this is looking after I finish pinning everything together. So you see why it is called one of the simplest and easiest and fastest and quickest way. So I'm going to be sewing all this all the way down to this point. That is how I'm just going to sew it straight. So just follow it step by step, exactly the way I'm showing you. So after you finish sewing it, guys, this is how it looks. I finished sewing it straight forward. This is how it looks exactly. Can you see the straight line there? So I'm going to turn this one inward. So at this particular juncture, you can still go on and finish the top stitching on the facing, but you can still finish your collar before you do that. So whichever one you are free to do your top stitch. Finish your top stitch on the front. Okay, so now to finalize this, to finish up this collar, I'm turning my fabric now. I'm turning it, it's still on the front toe. Just be watching the way I'm turning the fabric. It will go a long way to help you understand. So the next thing I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to open up. Can you see how this is looking already? Just don't, if you notice, my own notch is a bit very wide, and that is because, like I told you already, I had to make use of what I have to achieve this in order for you to learn what you need to learn. Okay, so now what I'm going to do next to cover up this facing, I'm just going to take in the ½ inch which I left. That is what I'm going to use to sew on this. So pay attention to this part. Is a bit tricky, so just pay close attention. You see what I'm doing. I'm going to pin it down first. You know, I like pinning down because I believe that helps for easier understanding. So I'll be pinning it, and you see how I'm going about the pinning. That is how I'm going to be sewing it. So I'm pinning it just on top of the facing that I've used to cover this other side. But mind you, just pay close attention. You see what I'm doing. Okay, so if you pin it straight forward just like that, it's going to end up looking a bit rough and revealing. So I'm going to remove this pin. I'm going to move just that particular point, that's towards that edge like that. The hair, I'm going to move it inward. Okay, so just see it again as I'm doing it on this side. Can you see? I believe you can see this clearly. Make sure you place it very neatly. Okay, make sure it's well placed. So guys, look at it. After I finish pinning it, this is how it will look. So make sure that when you want to sew it, you sew it from the front side. Normally this arrow, the arrow you saw, should, if I was following it with the freehand way I wanted to do it, the collar would have stopped somewhere around that point. So guys, that is just it. Like I say, this is my sleeve, and really this fabric disappointed me. I had to go and look for something else to add up to make the sleeve. And just a little more to remind you, like I said, if you are sewing the finishing part of the collar, do it from the front. That is from the front side, so that you can be able to sew it neatly. Okay, if you do it by the back, the thread might just fall into any part of the collar, so when I mean back, I mean the inside. This side I'm folding now is the back. So why the other side where that is facing, okay, I believe you should understand that the front of the cloth and the back of the cloth. So guys, that is it for this particular tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed it so far, and I hope you learned something from this. So if you know you've enjoyed it and you learned something, please don't forget to show me that support by hitting the subscribe button and turning on notification bell. And check out my other videos, guys. When you turn on notification bell on, you'll be able to get other updates from me. Okay, so, and please, if you have any questions to ask, please don't forget to drop it on the comment section. Any appreciation, I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And as you can see, this is looking so nice. I like the way it's appeared, the way it's looking. But next time when I want to make this, I'm going to get a different fabric, maybe on Ankara, and I'm going to make it so that it will come out really nicer than this. So guys, thank you so much for taking your time to enjoy with me, and see you in my next video.